IBF 112-pound championship against hard-hitting Donaire, a.k.a. the Filipino Bomber. Well, Al, it's very difficult for Vic Darchinyan to be in anything but an exciting fight, and this one has the elements of an all-action affair.
It really does. You know, Vic Darchinyan has a seek and destroy kind of mentality, and he does it more like a heavyweight than a flyweight. He's very economical with his punches. He's willing to take a couple of punches to give one, and then you throw into that mix Donaire, the 26-year-old with an aggressive style, quick hand speed, and a guy who also does not like to go backwards, so it could create a dream stylistic matchup. Now, for it to turn out that way, the onus, I think, is on the underdog Donaire to follow and execute his game plan perfectly. Donaire is an excellent body puncher, and he needs to do that early in hopes of getting to Darchinyan later. If he lets his right hand dangle out there after throwing it, Darchinyan will counter with his powerful left. Darchinyan can throw a lazy jab, and if he does, Donaire needs to counter with his left hook. Donaire is tough enough and focused enough, even when a right hand lands, as this one does, to still counter with his own left hook. And this is the kind of execution he will need to win tonight. With his supreme confidence and great chin, Darchinyan can ignore defense. Donaire is quick-handed, and he can take advantage of it. While he usually scores a knockout, someday Vic's slow pace will catch up with him if the fight goes to a decision, as it might tonight. The jab and then the left hand is the ticket for him. It's what he likes to throw and what he does best. In this sequence, we see it twice. He uses the jab to set up that powerful left hand. This is his game, and even if it is repetitive, the 1-2 combination works for him. And he will use it over and over again. And it's his power that ends up being the deciding factor based on this 1-2 combination.
From San Leandro, California, by way of the Philippines, the challenger Donaire. Very engaging, affable, loose, extremely confident despite the daunting task. There's no denying the explosive Darchinyan has more experience, a better level of opposition. But Donaire, a face-first pressure fighter with skills. But how can he pose problems for the champion?
Well, you know, the feeling is that someday one of these fighters that gets in against Darchinyan, who is quick-handed like Donaire is, who is aggressive like Donaire is going to back him up. And when that happens, how will Vic Darchinyan respond? The Donaire people hope it'll be tight. A point to be made, though, is Donaire is stepping way up in class from the people he has been against.
And right now he's responding to the crowd. Comes off an impressive win on Showbox over a quality guy, Cesar Lopez, and since a stunning first-round TKO loss to Z Gores, he's 3-0-1. An admitted workaholic, just bursting with energy, told us he recently left his job as a bus driver for handicapped children to devote full time to training for this huge career-altering fight. Not your typical southpaw. He hears it from the crowd. A lot of fans here for the Lord of the Flies, undefeated champion Vic Darchinyan, an awkward, unorthodox power puncher from Armenia who became an Australian citizen. He said he'd have thousands of people from Los Angeles, from the Armenian communities in LA here to support him. To say he is ultra confident is a colossal understatement, Al. He asked us in the fighter meeting yesterday what round should he knock out Donaire.
I think we said, how about the 6th or 7th to give us at least some time to have some fun. You know, he is an astonishingly confident guy. Some would say arrogant. And as again, people wonder, will that get to him at a certain point where he simply looks past an opponent so much that he loses? The question is, will it be tonight?
Well, he's no longer with Jeff Fenech, the former world champion who was his trainer after a falling out. Fenech often said Vic's biggest problem was overconfidence, and to this point, he has backed up almost everything he said he would do. He insists he'll knock out Donaire. 21 of his 26 wins are by KO, including his last 8 fights. And right now, let's check the numbers as we go to the tail of the tape at 26. Donaire is 4 years younger than Darchinyan, just a slight edge in height for Darchinyan and a 1.5-inch reach advantage for the champion. At yesterday's weigh-in, Darchinyan right on the mark at 112. Donaire a pound under at 111. Key unified rules for this world title bout: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt causes a fight to end within 4 rounds, it's a no decision. After 4, they go to the scorecards. If a punch causes a cut and the injured fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. So here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center, we're getting ready for Vic Darchinyan versus Glenn Donaire for the IBF Flyweight Championship. We get the formal introductions from our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to the beautiful Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as we have a big night of action coming away. And it's all brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions in association with the Mandalay Bay, MGM's Rocky Balboa, and Showtime. This bout coming away is the first of our world title attractions. It is sanctioned by the IBF, President Marion Muhammad, Supervisor Aaron Kaiser, the IBO, President Ed Levine, Supervisor Philip Austin, and the Nevada State Athletic Commission. The chairman is Dr. Tony Alamo. Introducing our 3 judges, scoring this bout from ringside, from Reno, Nevada, Bert Clements. From Fern Bay, New South Wales, Australia, Seth Perkins. And from Las Vegas, Nevada, Glenn Trowbridge. Introducing our 3rd man in the ring, working in this his 30th world title bout, Tony Weeks. All right, fans, here we go. 12 rounds of boxing for the IBF and IBO Flyweight Championship of the World. Introducing to you first the challenger. On my left, he is fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue trunks and fighting out of San Leandro, California, by way of General Santos City, Mindanao in the Philippines. He weighed in at 111 pounds with a record of 16 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. He has 9 wins, coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the NABA and NABO champion, who tonight is making his first attempt at a world title. Here is the 15th ranked challenger, known as the Filipino Bomber, introducing Glenn Donaire. And his opponent across the ring on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing black trunks with multicolored trim, fighting out of Sydney, Australia, by way of Vanadzor, Armenia. He weighed in at the flyweight limit of 112 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign to the ring with 26 wins, no losses, 21 big wins, coming by way of knockout. Tonight he is making the 5th defense of his title. Please welcome the IBF and IBO Flyweight Champion of the World, known as the Raging Bull, introducing Vic Darchinyan. Once again, here's our referee in charge of this bout, Tony Weeks, now to give instructions.
Okay, gentlemen, you both receive your instructions in your dressing room. Okay, it goes right here is okay. Anything that's going to be low. Right here is okay. Anything that's going to be low. I want a good, clean fight. Obey my commands at all times. Above all, protect yourself at all times. Let's go.
What could be a spicy appetizer, as we've said in the past, do not be fooled by their physical stature. Brash, cocky Vic Darchinyan, who brings a puncher's arrogance, a heavyweight mindset, one of the heaviest hitters in boxing in any weight class. Also not lacking for confidence, Glenn Donaire, a hard body puncher who calls Darchinyan any weight class. Also not lacking for confidence, Glenn Donaire, a hard body puncher who calls Darchinyan a lucky puncher. He feels that all he can do is bang with his left, to which Darchinyan says, okay, how about I knock you out with my right? Donaire feels that Darchinyan struggled to make weight. Therefore, a steady body attack, he feels, will weaken the champion, giving him the chance for the upset.
And that is just conjecture on Glenn Donaire's part. I think fueled by the fact that Darchinyan talks about how he could go up a couple of weight divisions to fight, so there's the perception that he would like to be at a higher weight.
You see that awkward, unorthodox approach by Vic Darchinyan. What in the world would you call that, Al?
It's a very unique style. It really is. One that, you know, I'm sure trainers wouldn't suggest to young fighters to pick up, but it works for him.
Donaire admits Darchinyan's dangerous, but given that he asked to fight Darchinyan, that would make him crazy, he says. Yet, as he put it, the chance of a lifetime.
These early rounds very important for Donaire because, as I mentioned, a great step up in competition for him. And these early rounds, he's got to get his sea legs under him and not get hit with something dramatic.
Donaire feels one of the keys is to try to take this as deep as possible, as he just got tagged with a straight left. Donaire, and a good body punch by Glenn Donaire.
He's a superb body puncher, and he throws every one of those with really very, very well.
With evil intentions, with conviction. There's a straight left hand to the neck area by Darchinyan. Those punches are savage. And Darchinyan is just going to town early. Donaire needs to stay busy, outwork Darchinyan, stay cool, but he's got to use angles, Al, and, you know, he just can't stand right in front of him.
And part of the problem for Donaire is he can't in that mid-range. He just got it with a good straight left hand by Darchinyan. He's either got to be very, very close to him or giving him angles, as you mentioned. Darchinyan's starting a little faster than we're used to seeing him start, Steve.
Yeah, he usually sizes up his opponent early on and then goes in for the finish, but he is getting right to it here in the first round. Both are very hittable. Darchinyan never down, never hurt in 26 pro, 170 amateur fights. He won 152 of those, 105 knockouts, representing Armenia at the 2000 Olympics. He can take a punch, Darchinyan. He's got a granite chin. He is a one-dimensional fighter, but it's a great one dimension. But you wonder eventually if that will catch up to him down the road. Final seconds of round one. Oh, a hard straight, another left hand by Darchinyan, who marches right in on Donaire. Another left hand just before the bell. And a big finish to the opening round by Darchinyan.
There's a 3 good. Just breathe, bro. Just breathe. Breathe in.
Well, Vic Darchinyan had a very good first round, but the one thing Glenn Donaire would like to accomplish is to be able to whack the body. And you see Darchinyan not really defending that very well, and right in that area is where the right hand would get in. Fantastic body shot that literally you could see made an impact on Darchinyan. Now, not enough of that for Glenn Donaire to win this round. Later on in the round, Darchinyan landing those good left hands. He's so consistent with that punch. He just keeps throwing it until he lands it, and I'll tell you, they are very powerful.
Round two scheduled for 12 for the IBF Flyweight Championship. Darchinyan in the black with the red trim, a diminutive fighter who poses a gargantuan challenge for anyone with his stalking, relentless bullying style, his thunderous power.
You know, you wouldn't think you could use the word gargantuan with a flyweight, exactly. But can I tell you that's appropriate in this case.
I was greatly trusting Thesaurus with me as Donaire and Darchinyan trade in the center of the ring. There's a good left hand to the head by Donaire.
This is Glenn Donaire. He wants to do this, but the problem is you face off against the cannon, and he's getting nailed with big straight lefts.
Thunderous shots by Darchinyan. Donaire eating a lot of leather here in the round number 2.
A tactical move by Donaire to see if he could move Darchinyan back.
Donaire again trying to go to the body. That time Darchinyan able to cover up. Donaire on his toes, Darchinyan more flat-footed. Now things settle down for the moment, but it could be the calm before the storm. Approaching midway round 2. Darchinyan flicking the jab, but holds it at that. It was not there to set anything up.
And you know, a point here is that Tony Weeks hasn't had to break these fighters.
And a right.
Has not had to break these fighters at all. That means Donaire is not getting on the inside where he wants to be.
The straight left, right hook combination. You don't see many those kinds of combinations from Darchinyan. Usually to him, a combination is a left, followed by a left, and then another left.
Exactly. He was.
That one was blocked by Donaire's glove, but it looked good to the crowd. Another one deflected off Donaire's glove. But those punches have some impact too, because the glove goes back into your own face. And he's making Donaire miss wildly with the right. Left uppercut, missed the second one, got him. Darchinyan blasting away with the uppercut. He had some concern for Donaire's uppercut, but we haven't really seen it yet. Now Donaire too far away from Darchinyan to land. A straight left hand. He has tasted a lot of leather so far from Darchinyan, and he is keeping his distance, understandably, for the time being.
Glenn Donaire has not figured out what punch works against Darchinyan, or punches, and therefore he's just not been able to get anything in.
Yeah, Donaire right now is puzzled, having difficulty solving the Darchinyan puzzle.
Glenn Donaire came out in this round determined to see if he could push Darchinyan back and land something meaningful, and he engaged in this firefight. But as you see, most of the good work done by Darchinyan. A left hand gets in by Donaire, but then Darchinyan found the range with the straight left, and that was when he drove Donaire back. And for the most part, for the rest of that round, Glenn Donaire wasn't willing to engage like this, and again was in that no man's land. Now, the footwork is important in this match. Glenn Donaire wants to get his foot out there, outside Darchinyan's right foot. However, for the most part, it's been in that posture with the foot on the inside, and that's why that straight left hand landed from Darchinyan.
Donaire is trying to pull a Rocky Balboa, but he's got a long way to go here because it's been all Vic Darchinyan. We enter round 3. Even though Darchinyan dominated in his last fight, the win over previously undefeated Luis Maldonado, oftentimes he threw wide looping punches. He has really straightened it out here.
Steve, you are so correct about that. That's a great observation, because when he throws these straight punches, he's more powerful and he's more precise, and it's really been excellent for him tonight.
Yeah, I think Donaire himself was expecting more of those sweeping looping punches so he could fire the straight right hand down the middle, but it's not there for him. This is a pretty good right hand by Donaire. It sends Darchinyan back momentarily, but oh man, what a massive left hand by Darchinyan, followed by another one.
And you know, we talk about occasional defensive lapses by Darchinyan, but he's blocking a lot of those right hands by Donaire, which he just did, and slipping some, so we don't want to turn Darchinyan into some kind of one-dimensional cartoon character that can only do certain things, because he has more skills. It's just that he does it in an unorthodox fashion.
Left hand there drove Donaire back. Keeps shaking his head at Darchinyan as if to say, it's not hurting me. That one had to hurt. The straight left hand got through the defense. Donaire's been down a couple of times. As mentioned, Darchinyan never, pro or amateur. Darchinyan, just a take charge guy in there. Straight left hand just smacked Donaire right on the nose. Another left hand came from the angle to Donaire's side of the face.
Glenn Donaire now reduced to being a boxer. He's not that. So this posture for him, not good. It will lead to more punishment.
And Donaire is being chased around the ring here by Darchinyan, just being backed up. Darchinyan just measuring him out, and almost everything that he throws is landing.
And you know, Donaire is better at 108 pounds, and at this weight doesn't pack as much power as he might, and so some of these punches that are landing against Darchinyan are not having a monstrous effect.
He's got a younger brother, a 115-pound prospect who won earlier tonight, Nonito Donaire. So it's all in the family. Sparred with him, and he posed as Darchinyan against his older brother, Glenn. And here's Darchinyan really going to work towards the end of the round. Non-stop barrage by Darchinyan.
Okay, Vic. This kid is really worried now. He's felt your power. He's not going to fight you, Vic. Okay? Listen, Vic, he's only going to...
Listen, you can hold that hand up, but you can't make contact with him, all right?
Okay, thank you, sir.
Make contact.
Vic, we're here always. The first punch, we're hitting him. It's the second and third punch we want to throw, right? Vic, not one punch, 3 and 4 punches. And Vic, he knows you're going to hit him to the head. Let's start down to the body more.
Darchinyan, you see his elbow. And he shakes it afterwards, landing those good straight left hands. And that one came back and nailed Donaire and got him in the face, and it drew a complaint from Donaire.
Darchinyan's longtime assistant trainer Billy Hussein taking over for Jeff Fennick. You saw him in the corner. He's the brother of flyweight contender Hussein, stopped twice by Jorge Arce, the man Darchinyan really wants but has just about given up on because he keeps avoiding him. He calls him Jorge Farce.
Arce not a champion right now, up a weight class higher than him, campaigning there. And many boxing fans believe that would be a wildly exciting fight. Darchinyan feels he can go up a couple of weight classes. I'll tell you the fight I'd like to see him in. How about Rafael Marquez a couple of weight classes above? Wouldn't that be spectacularly exciting?
And he's been sparring with guys 2 weight classes above him in anticipation of moving up perhaps, but he really loves the belts. He wants to unify if possible, but nobody is stepping up to take him on. There's a straight left hand to the nose by Darchinyan. And whacks to the body of Donaire. The right hand missed. The hook is too looping. But Donaire couldn't take advantage. Straight left hand to the head by Darchinyan.
What many people that step in the ring with Darchinyan kind of underestimate is how quickly those punches can get there. He's not a plodding puncher at all. You know, he can throw very quickly with the jab and the straight left hand. That's why even though he's repetitive with that combination, it gets in.
And that straight left appears to be extremely heavy. I mean, it really has to take its toll, one after another after another.
Donaire is not stepping to his left enough to get out of the wheelhouse of that straight left hand. And what we haven't seen from Glenn Donaire that was obvious in other fights are these really good left hooks to the body and the head. Hasn't put himself in position to throw that punch. There's a hook, but from a very bad position for Donaire.
Again, Darchinyan not the most polished technically, but he throws almost every punch with conviction. Has such a rugged approach.
You know, you mentioned earlier that he came into this fight. Jeff Fennick, the former champion, has been training him, and they parted ways in kind of a strange way. All of a sudden, it just kind of happened, and I don't think either party quite understood exactly why the breakup took place. But there is no let-up in Darchinyan. He has picked up the beat and fought very well tonight.
Well, I asked him about that. He said probably because Hussein's been with him all the way. anyway, so he's always been training him in the gym. Fenech would come on for the most part during the fights. Yeah, but Fenech was with him since the 2000 Olympics.
You know, Donaire got inside a moment ago and cranked up some really good left hooks, but then was pushed back and got nailed with big shots again.
Darchinyan has Donaire down.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come with me. Come with me.
Wasn't the left, but the right.
Ready to continue?
That did the deed.
Okay.
Donaire says, I'm all right, but it happened, fortunately for Donaire, way near the end of the round.
Give it a Vaseline bin. Vaseline. Come on, pressure. Yeah. Matilda, you're going to lose if you're not
we're
fighting
accustomed to
inside.
seeing left hands get in for Darchinyan, but after some good left hands had landed, it is a straight right, not a hook, really, more like a straight jab, but it was delivered with great power, and Glenn Donaire would go down from it.
Just as he predicted, Al.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He said, I'll do it with the right hand. Well, he did. So Glenn Donaire now facing a lot of issues in this fight. And you see the left hand, certainly Darchinyan landing them, but it would be the right ultimately that would send Donaire down. That was a freight train right hand.
A rock-solid right by Darchinyan, putting Donaire down for the third time in his career, coming into round 5 now, and Darchinyan goes right back at it, flicking the jab. Everything scoring. Left hand. This is scheduled for 12 for the IBF Flyweight Championship. Darchinyan's 5th title defense, 26-0 with 21 knockouts. 5-0 in world title fights. He won the belt with 11th round TKO of Irene Pacheco in 04. All 4 title defenses by TKO. The book on Darchinyan, they say try to back him up, but it doesn't seem to work.
It's one of those easier said than done things, and that mirrors my score. I exactly have it a 40-35, as do the press row scoring folks.
No surprise, Jeff Haney from the Las Vegas Sun, Kieran Mulvaney from Reuters, and James Smitty Smith from In This Corner. Vic Darchinyan, born in Banadzor, Armenia, the son of a gas station owner. Moved to Sydney, Australia, became an Australian citizen on the urging of 3-time world champion Jeff Fenech.
Donaire is in a very difficult spot now because he's reduced to trying to be a boxer puncher from the outside, not his stock in trade. Can't get inside because he gets hit with those big straight left hands every time he tries to pressure Darchinyan.
He is game. You can say that about him. Right hand blocked by Darchinyan. Darchinyan then follows with a left hand. Another big left. Boy, that had Donaire almost doubled over. There was so much power behind it. He goes down to a knee, but it's not a knockdown, says Tony Weeks.
Donaire is trying to time that left hand by Darchinyan and counter with his own right. He's tried several times, and it hasn't quite gotten there.
Tony Weeks, who ref the first Casamayor-Corrales fight. That was stopped after round 6 in favor of Casamayor on a TKO when the mouthpiece went through Corrales' lip.
How many straight lefts has Vic Darchinyan landed in this fight? Astonishing.
Body shot by Donaire. Unfazed, Darchinyan comes right back, roaring back. A flurry by Darchinyan just before the bell.
Yeah, hands out, Nick. Let's relax.
Beautiful. Breathe in, breathe in.
Take control, Vicky. Wait, Yuka, 1 second. Have a drink.
Beautiful, Vic.
Breathe, brother.
Give him a couple of body shots.
Just breathe, brother. Breathe. Control. Okay, Vic. We're going 1 out again. Just one punch, 1 punch. We're going to hurt the kid. We need more than one punch.
Well, we hope you're enjoying our free preview weekend, and we remind you to call 1-888-SHOWTIME to continue with the great boxing, plus movies, original series, and special events. Only available here on Showtime.
Hurt the kid. We need more than one punch.
Well, we hope you're enjoying our free preview weekend, and we remind you to call 1-888-SHOWTIME to continue with the great boxing, plus movies, original series, and special events. Only available here on Showtime.
Seconds out.
Put him away, Vic. Look, he doesn't want to be there, brother. Look. Shit.
Some confusion there on the Donaire corner. Billy Hussein, the trainer, thinking that he didn't want to continue, but he does. One knockdown of the fight. Donaire down to the 250 mark late in round 4. Down from a right hand. A vicious straight right. It has been all Vic Darchinyan, looking to make it 27-0, and this is his 5th title defense of the IBF Flyweight belt.
For Darchinyan, these fights are all about marketing himself, trying to demonstrate that a flyweight can be entertaining, which of course we know they can be, but sometimes to the casual boxing fan it isn't evident. And trying to campaign to move up in weight and get important fights for himself.
And he loves it when he has the stage to himself, as he did in his last fight, the win over Maldonado, when the 3rd Corrales-Casamayor or 3rd Corrales-Castillo fight was canceled.
He almost had it alone tonight as well.
It came awfully close, perilously close, to being the Vic Darchinyan show once again.
And obviously at this juncture, you want to see him get his wish. You would like to see him against the Arces, against some of the other champions in the flyweight division like Para and the like, and have him get those fights that are meaningful.
Once a claim. Yeah, you had the first name, I had the last name.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. But don't ask me to say it again.
Time.
Hold off now.
Get over there. Come here.
He broke my jaw.
Huh?
He broke my jaw.
You want it?
Yeah, he broke my jaw.
You can't continue? Time.
Donaire claims his jaw is broken.
Oh, stay. Hold it. Come here. Doctor, come here. Stay in there. He's saying that his
He broke his jaw. My mouth open.
Stay there.
Can you open and close your mouth? Does it hurt right there?
Yeah, right there.
All right, well, if that hurts, then we're going to recommend medically to stop the fight.
Okay.
Open your mouth. Hold on. You can't continue. That hurts right there? Okay, I medically recommend to stop the fight, then he's going to get hurt in his head.
Okay, what round is this?
You can't continue. No. Okay, you can't continue medically.
It's over. Dr. Jeff Davidson.
Hey. What it is,
making the call.
Was accidentally broke by
Donaire claiming that his jaw was broken, and this one is all over. You hear the reaction from the crowd. Of course, they want to see more action in the ring, but Vic Darchinyan able to celebrate now.
Accidental injury. Accidental injury will go to the scorecard.
Dr. Jeff Davidson saying that's enough for Donaire. He gets examined. Whether it's actually broken or not, we don't know.
Put some ice on it. Ice.
But Al, with those punches, I wouldn't doubt it.
Strong left hand from Darchinyan.
So Darchinyan rolls on his 5th successful defense of the title. Still Lord of the Flies, undefeated, 27-0. 9 consecutive knockouts. Donaire falls to 16-3-1.
Act like a big star. You're going to win the fight as soon as they read the scorecards.
So what happens now for Darchinyan? He says he's in love with the belt. He wants to unify the title.
Listen to me. The people are here from Showtime. You have the chairman of the board.
In a very talented, deep division.
I don't give a fuck if they say you won by your pinky.
Here is now the jaw allegedly was broken during the course of this round. Now there's some right hands that are landing, and of course the left hands have been in there. Now we are hearing as we take a look at where the left hands got in. We were being told from the ring by Jim Gray that there may have been a accidental clash of heads that created the jaw to be broken or the injury. And Tony Weeks said to Jim Gray that may have caused the stoppage, and so under those circumstances they would go to the scorecards. We're in the 5th round.
I noticed promoter Gary Shaw explaining something to Vic Darchinyan. That may have been what he was saying to him.
Listen, I have a surprise for you, gentlemen. Here, put him down here.
We're going to get right down to the bottom of this matter, Al.
Yeah! Hold it from there.
Our Jim Gray is tracking down Tony Weeks. We'll get an explanation from the referee.
I thought you would, but he just caught me with a...
I'm going to get your microphone.
You know, in the 3rd round, in the 2nd round?
Certainly looked like there was a problem with his mouth there. May have been slightly rearranged by Darchinyan's power.
His punch. If you check his punch.
Well done, brother. Good job.
All right, Tony Weeks said he will not speak until after the decision is made, the judgment is made.
No.
So we'll hold off on that for the time being. Meanwhile, they attend with the ice to the jaw of Donaire. Let's get it up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr. He'll tell us what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has been stopped at 1 minute 27 seconds in round number 6 due to an accidental foul. The fighters clash heads, and Donaire is unable to continue due to an injury suffered to his jaw. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, we go to the scorecards. After these rounds of boxing, all 3 judges have the bout scored the same, 60 to 53. All 3 in favor of the winner by way of technical decision, and still champion, the Raging Bull, Vic Darchinyan.
So it is not a knockout. It is a technical decision because of the accidental foul, the injury to the jaw of Glenn Donaire. They had to go to the scorecards. And, of course, it was a lopsided score in favor of Vic Darchinyan. Technical decision because they clashed heads. All 3 judges had it the same way by 7 points.
I think Vic Darchinyan has enough belts there. He could get hurt just wearing those belts.
Yeah, I think it's IBO alongside the